Yeah, so it is being live streamed now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the joy of technology. Fantastic. All right, then. Okay, all right.
Yes,
so
it is being live streamed now.
Okay.
So how do we?
Yeah. Yeah, the joy of technology. Fantastic. All right, then. Okay, all right. Yes, it is being live streamed now.
So where? So
Yeah, the joy of technology. Fantastic. All right, then. Okay, all right. Yes, it is being live streamed now.
So I'm actually not sure where. So what I should do here? Maybe.
All right, then. Okay, all right. It is being live streamed now.
Sorry, I will a bit of a conundrum here.
Yeah, I think it's looping.
All right.
Because on my device, you see, so it's okay. I suppose I don't have to play it on my YouTube for it to be live, right?
Yes, but it has stopped now.
No, because I paused it. I paused the YouTube.
Okay.
So I think we can carry on, and then it will still be. I hope it's still going to be live. If not, never mind.
Okay.
I can do this again. All right. So I just want to quickly show you a few things. Abby, thanks for allowing your data to be used in this way to help others.
Thank you.
It's great. It's good because I think some of the questions or some of the issues are recurrent ones that others also tend to have. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
And that's your data, right?
Yes.
Okay. So all right. So I think the first thing I just want to show you as we continue. Okay, let me also make you a co-host so that if somebody then joins, you can let them in.
Okay.
So, because I won't be able to see that. All right. So, a few things I want to show you quickly. This item, which is talking about the ID of the respondent, you don't need to code it at all.
Okay.
Because, like you have noted, here is a nominal data. So there's really no point coding it because SPSS is not going to read it for the purpose of analysis. So it's just ID. ID is ID. Because I can imagine it took you quite considerable time to do all the 213 of them, right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't need to do that, but we learn new things every day. So don't worry about that. The other one is the second item here. And I think it's just then reflective of all the others that are binary. This is a binary item. You're asking your respondent, are you currently teaching in Lagos State Government Primary School? So their response will be yes or no, right?
Yes.
So you need to code for yes or no. Here you've only coded for yes. But the other thing also is that with binary outcomes, it's better to have a reference response as 1 and then the opposite of that as 0, if you see what I mean. So in this case, I will put yes as 1, and then I'll code no as 0. So every yes, no, I think try to use that, and then you can then list it as scale once you do that. Of course, I'm not sure whether I can do that directly now.
Okay.
But try, because I know that you were actually sorting the data from Excel before, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but let's see whether that can be done. If not, you know how to do it.
Yeah.
So, but I think the idea is that for every binary outcome that is yes or no, list your yes as 1 and the no as 0, because then yes is the reference response that you're looking for in data. So in order to do that, I will go to transform, and I will then recode into the same variables. So that means I'm changing the code entirely. So this is the one. This is you currently in Lagos now. And then the old and new values. So at the moment you have the old value is 2, right?
Yes.
And then you are changing 2 to 1, right?
Yeah.
And okay. Yeah, you can, let's go back. Oh, okay. So this is 2, you're changing it to 1, adding it. Yeah, so 2 to 1. Okay. So, so let's see whether it accepts that first before we then try to do anything else. Okay, I think this has actually not been registered. Okay, let's inspect the data itself. We're coming to data view, and this is it the one? So this is teaching status. Yeah. So you can see that all of that has become 1. Are they all yes?
Yes.
Okay, they are all yes. Okay. So then really, if they are all yes, it's really, there's no point. I mean, so it's accepted it. It's changed it to 1 anyway, so which is good. But again, that you don't need to actually code it because it is yes. So there is really no point there, but you can change it here. Because it's not really it's not meaningful because there's no comparison, there's no there. Okay. But then so let's come back to this. Still on the coding. You have this, and then you have graded it value 1 all the way to 6, right? So you need to remember that once there's a gradation, that is meaningful, then that cannot be nominal. And it cannot be scale either. This is ordinal. Okay, so are you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Okay, so a nominal data is one. A scale data is one that you can represent. Is a quick way to remember it. Any data that you can represent, in decimal.
Yeah.
That is a scale data. Okay. So if it cannot be represented in decimal, then it's not really scale. It's either going to be nominal or ordinal. But ordinal is then the one that asks that the sequence or the grade from low to high is meaningful. So and that is what this is, isn't it? So because you then thought, how long have you been? So those who have been there longer, basically score higher than those who have been there, for a shorter period of time. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is it. And then this one also, have you taught anywhere else in Lagos? That is yes or no, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So this is one of those things I'm saying to you then, that your yes should be represented as 1 and your no as 0.
Okay.
And then it will be scale. Because there's sort of technically something in between 0 and 1, especially when you are then working out averages and stuff. But here you have sort of listed 1 as 0, I mean no as 1 and yes as 2. That will be problematic when you're running your analysis. So this is again one of those cases where I will come back here and then recode into the same variable because you want to change the coding. Because now, look at this first. When you come to this data here for taught outside Lagos, I don't know what's your teach location, right? That's it. So when you come here and you have teach location, you can sort of, so where's the 3 coming from? Because you only coded for 1 and 2. Look.
Yes, I did. So I'm not sure where this 3 is coming from. Is it the same one that taught us outside Lagos?
Yeah, this is teach location. That's the name of.
Yeah.
So, and your coding here is showing that there are 2 entries. Can you see? So the entry is 1 for no and 2 for yes. But when you then come to the data view and you look at that teach location, there's 3, 2, 2, 2. In fact, there's no 1. Look. Can you see? This one. You can see that there are a lot of 3s and 2s. So there's something there, there's
Yeah.
a problem there with the coding. You need to look at it again. So I'm going to leave that for now because you need to look back at your original data set that you have.
Okay.
But let's have a look at the next one, which is teach private. So this teach private, okay, again is yes and no. And that is whether they've taught in private school before or not. So if you come back here again, let's look at okay, so this is teach gender, this teach location. Teach private again has 3 on it. So again, I'm not sure where that 3 is coming from. So I think this is where you need to spend time to clean this up so that it will be able then to make sense. But what I wanted to show you, I think I've already shown with the other example, although you probably know the perfect example, is how to recode. You have to change the coding for your, if the coding is wrong, you can change it by going to transform. I mean, again, you can look at this video again later on to remind yourself of what's been said. But let's just, so again, so where you have here in your opinion, what skills are the most important? Or yeah, so this is from A, okay, skill quality A, B, C to E. So here is from inadequate to what? Yeah, to extremely adequate. So this is also what, Abby, from what we've said? What kind of data is this going to be?
Now, from what we said, it's a scale.
No, it's not scale because it's from 1 to 5. So you can't represent this entry in decimal, can you?
No, you can't.
So it is ordinal actually. So you're correct in what you put there.
Okay.
But here, let's see what are this one subject knowledge. Yeah. So I mean, so there are issues here that you need to resolve because what do you feel? What skills do you feel are the most important? So you're asking them to choose from a list, right?
Yes, I did.
But you have only coded for subject knowledge. So what if somebody choose, what are the other options? So this is the thing. Now I can't see the original questionnaire, so it's difficult for me to say.
Okay, so I have the original questionnaire with
You
me.
need to look at it so that you don't know. But it also seems to me anyway that this is sort of this will be nominal, which then begs the question: how do you want to use the data? Okay, maybe tell me first what.
So is it in terms of the subject knowledge? So do you want the actual question that was asked?
No, the option. I mean, just read the question as well as the options anyway. Go on.
Okay, it says, in your opinion, what skills do you feel are the most important school teachers need to have to ensure the effective delivery of quality universal basic education in Lagos state schools? So it has options, and it's A, subject knowledge, B, classroom management, C, understanding students' differences, D, facilitation of learning, and E, planning of different approaches to teaching situations.
Okay, what is A again?
A is subject knowledge.
What is B?
Classroom management.
Okay, suppose somebody choose classroom management. All right.
Okay.
And somebody chooses subject knowledge. What do you want to do with that data?
So what I'm trying to find out with this data is just to try and see, which one they feel is most effective, or is more important.
I understand what you're trying to find. I'm asking you now, Abby, in terms of using it for analysis. How do you propose to use that? Because it is quantitative analysis, and this is a nominal entry. Nominal in the sense that subject knowledge is not higher than classroom management, right?
Yeah.
Just with those 2 examples. So if somebody chooses subject knowledge and somebody chooses, classroom management, what are you going to use? How are you going to use that data? Because one is not higher than the other. You have not assigned, scores to it. in the world is either kind of ordinal. So what will you do with this information?
So the thing is that I had registered it as nominal, but what I was thinking is that if, for example, out of the 213, I had like, the highest number of teachers saying, subject knowledge, is what they feel is most important, then maybe when making recommendations and things like that, I can, look into that, or even when I look into my interview and see what they're saying about that, I can then pick that up, I just want to.
Yeah. I mean, so I see what you mean, but if for analytical purposes, it seems to me that what you are hoping to do with this is just very basic descriptive to run, okay, how many people are saying subject knowledge, how many people are saying classroom, a kind of a frequency graph, if you like. But in terms of looking at, let's say, the impact of skills, because you have 4 or 5 items for skills. So in terms of looking at the impact of skills on, on outcomes, for example, it is difficult to use this because everybody is going to potentially pick different things. And you won't then be able to tell which one is higher than which. Unless you sort of dominate them, maybe to make, maybe subject knowledge is a reference, and maybe those who say subject knowledge would then be 1, and those who say no subject knowledge will be 0. Do you understand? So unless you have something in the literature that indicates for yourself, right, that, as far as, this particular question, your opinion, what do you feel are the most important school teachers need for what? What's this first question here, actually? What is this? Need for what? Are you there? I can't hear you again.
Yes, I am there. I think for a split second you went on.
To ensure effective delivery of basic So the questions are the same.
Yes, because I asked I plotted, the different answers.
Oh, I see. So it was just the same. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. No, you shouldn't have actually run it in this way, But I can see why you did so. So since you've already done it in this way.
What is the preferred way? Because I can also tweak it as well.
No, it's fine. So yeah, so that means the quality skill A is subject knowledge, basically.
Yes.
So what you can then code this to be, instead of yeah. So maybe what you can do is actually to change the label here to maybe subject knowledge and all of that classroom. And then when you are then coding this, you can just code subject knowledge as 0. Okay. You can code subject knowledge as subject knowledge as 1, actually. So that is what I mean by dominate. So and then so this one would then be no, not subject knowledge. Okay. That would then be 0. Do you understand?
Okay.
So you can code it like that.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah. So and then when you then come back here, I mean, you have subject knowledge as 2. So maybe I hope you are paying very close attention. You can then come back and record
yes, I am.
variable. Come back here, and so this is the one, is it? Or in your opinion, this is the one?
Yes.
The subject knowledge one. I think you need to change the label anyway, because otherwise everything will be the same. So you can then have, so your 2 is now what? So 2 is 1 again, isn't it? 2 is 1.
Yeah.
And then 0 is 0. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're not changing that. We've added the code now. I think you have to do the coding first and then come here and record here. So 0 is 0 for that.
Okay.
And you can change the label later on. But when you okay that, you can see now. So that not subject knowledge is 1. When you come to the data, you find that the whole space is filled up. 1 and 0. Yeah, can you see? So this is, let's see, quality scales A. Where is it again? Okay, this is quality scales A.
Yes.
So did they choose multiple options?
So
Did you allow them to
what
choose multiple options?
yes, so what happened is that they could only selected all that apply. So some selected more than one.
So okay, for example, everybody has chosen subject knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah, so some people choose subject knowledge, some would choose subject knowledge and
What I
facilitation of learning.
yeah, Abby, is that for subject knowledge, every single one of your respondents here has chosen subject knowledge.
No, not every single one of them.
Look here, look at it here.
Yes, that's why I'm wondering why it's coming up that way.
So I think there's an issue there with your data entry. And these are things that need to be resolved. Let me just actually, yeah, you can't undo the most. Anyway, you have the original file there with you anyway. So I would suggest that you go back to the data, make sure you enter it correctly. You know what the issues are now. For this particular one, I will be just, labeling these subject knowledge either here in the label. So I think you can sort of quality skills, subject knowledge, and then others, and then classroom management and the rest of it. But then you then need to go back to your data to ensure that the entries go on.
I just want to say that when I was looking at my data view, in my data view, it doesn't, like, it shows the people that did subject knowledge and it shows the people that did, like in the data view, it shows that it was entered correctly because it shows who did what. I don't know if we can go to your data view to check.
No, yeah, so this is my data view, yeah. And this is the subject knowledge, that's the scale 1. So everything here is 1. So of course, because we have recorded it, all right? Okay. So all I'm saying to you is that you should go back to your data anyway, tidy up, the data entry itself.
Okay.
Before you then do the coding. So, and at least you have a clear understanding of what you need to do now with the coding, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, because if you want to dummy these ones, then, you can just do it, make, subject knowledge 1 and not subject knowledge 0. Again, classroom management 1, not classroom management 0. That is how you can sort of use the dummy to make it, readable by SPSS quantitative analysis. So, and I think that applies across. I mean, so again, those that are binary, use 1 and 0. And then, again, here you have, yeah. So the coding here seems okay to me. But if you're asking them to rate it, so this one, rank 1, a lot of importance. Okay, what does it mean? Can you explain this? This rank.
Okay, is it the rank in order of importance, what you feel would help teachers do their job?
Yeah.
Because it's the ranking, the ranking question that we did some ranking questions. So that's the one of the first ranking question.
Yeah. Okay, so I think, but when you are saying ranking, so rank one in order of importance, where you feel web teachers do the job better. They have a list, right?
Yes.
So again, this is so this is the first item they rank, right?
Yes. So that's
What you have there. Okay.
yeah, because it's rank first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So it has different line items there.
Yeah, I mean, so again, you need to then think about, because the option you are giving them is not ordinal, right? They are the one that will decide which one is higher. This option, any of them can be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, right?
Right.
So again, so the coding here is a bit problematic because you appear to be determining here which one is lower, which one is higher. But that is not what we're trying to do. So I think what I would also suggest that you do, yeah, this will be slightly more complicated because, yeah. Because if you make availability, so the other question actually here is, so if I were you also, I will make each of these items actually the label. Okay.
Okay.
So the rank one, and then so rank one, availability of teaching aid, for example, you can make it, the label here as, availability, teaching aid availability. And then your entry here would then be teaching aid 1, okay? And then no teaching aid 1.
Okay.
Okay. Teaching aid first preference or something. Teaching aid first preference, and then your other option will be not teaching aid first preference. So anybody that chooses any of the 4 items will be 0 for that. So, and then your option 2 will also then be, training opportunities, rank first, and then not training opportunity to rank first or something like that. So again, it will also be, okay, somebody is trying to join, but we're almost finishing.
I've admitted the person. Yeah.
All right, okay, that's fine. So again, you are going to need to think about that. So I think it's better to use this item as your label here. And then what you are then coding for here is whether it is rank first or not rank first. So rank first is going to be 1, not rank first will be 0 for a particular item that you're choosing here, if it's availability of teaching aid. And if you then, for the second item, if you then have training opportunities, again, your coding will be, teaching opportunities rank first, no teaching opportunity rank first.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Then it's going to be more meaningful for quantitative analysis down the line. Okay, I think this is probably, for me, the most important now with your quantitative data. It needs to be tidied up in a way that makes sense. Those binary items use 0 and 1 for them. Those ordinal, they need to make sense. The one where you are ranking, you need to sort of use dummy so that, the reference is 1, the null of that is 0, and each of them makes sense. Again, the same thing, all these ranking bit as well. Also, I would say, use a similar strategy as in many of your stuff ranking. Anyway, this one also look like ranking when you're asking what's the most important.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the items are ranking.
We have like
so give a lot of
4 or 5 rankings.
Yeah, exactly. So give a lot of thought to that. Again, what teaching qualification do you have? I don't know what but some will have more than 1, right?
Yes.
So you've also, again, I think you probably just choose them one by one. Then you'll be able to make sense of no, what? So TCRN, OND, I think those should just be one, and then you then dominate as well.
Okay.
Just like you've done for the other one. Because I think the most important thing about your quantitative data is that they need to make sense for SPSS.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will be a case of speaking Yoruba to a German person. And you're expecting them to communicate with you. That would be difficult. You have to use ChatGPT or whatever is available to translate the Yoruba to German, and then have a voiceover or something to say it. So, and that is why, data processing in SPSS is the most important thing you can do. Otherwise, when you start doing your analysis, it will just be, one great long waste of time, because you are speaking a language that SPSS can make sense of. And SPSS will then be speaking gibberish back to you. And it'll be a case of a child babble. And when a child babble, the mother babble back, and the only thing you are just getting from it is entertainment value, not so much as functional communication. I mean, I suppose entertainment is also communication anyway. But you are not really, it won't be intelligible communication. So you have to speak the language that SPSS understands with your data. And then you'll be able to then do things with it. Does that make sense? So I think I would say go and tidy this up. You can go watch the video again, and then maybe we can have a quick look again sometime when you're done next week or so for 15, 20 minutes, see where it is. Because that needs to be done before you start doing any analysis, whether descriptive or regression. I don't know who has joined us. Who is the gentleman or lady that joined us? Do you have any quick comments before we finish the session?
Not at all, sir.
So who is that?
Tolulope. Tolulope Grace, yes.
Tolulope what?
Ogundipe.
Tolulope Ogundipe, okay, I think I remember, because your name is showing as Asa. Are you using SPSS in your work?
No, not at all. I just wanted to have an idea about it.
It's good. I mean, so it's also on YouTube anyway. I will share it on the platform at the end.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right, so you can catch up on the party miss. But all right, so I will stop sharing now. I probably should have actually stopped recording before I start asking for your name, but it's okay. I mean, don't worry. Nobody is going to